Relative Weddings 2. The Honeymoon is Over by Aubrey Boyd. Dedication to my ever-growing family, both immediate, Deidre, Aubrey J., Diamond, India, Jantu, Julian, and grandchildren, an extended family. I am never afraid to try new things, and neither should you. I will ensure the Boyd family continues to be respected, and I will always try to lead by example. I love you all. Acknowledgements. Cover design by Tiziana De Rosa. Artwork by Brandy Antonio at www.brandyantonio.com. Edited by Linda Tyler, Deidre Boyd, and Amber Williams. Prologue. The jet engine whirred gently outside the tightly sealed plexiglass windows of Teresa Davis's first-class seat as she rested her head against her husband, Victor Boyd. Victor was sleeping like a baby, breathing deeply, with a little smile on his face as if he were the most content man in the world. Teresa couldn't help but share his feelings of happiness and contentment. She couldn't believe she had been married for 2 whole months and she could finally go on the honeymoon of her dreams with her beloved husband like she had always dreamed. She had all the reasons in the world to be happy. Not only was she finally going on her honeymoon, but she was also lucky enough to share the experience with her sister. Added to her joy was the fact that her newly married sister Judy was also traveling with her and Victor, with Judy's husband Lucas. Teresa adored Judy and Lucas and doted on them both. As she gazed at the fluffy clouds enveloping the plane, she couldn't help but think about how different she felt than when she had started planning her wedding over a year ago. Marriage does change a person. Teresa had always been a firecracker, a no-nonsense trauma nurse with a ghetto attitude, but with a heart of gold. However, she thought that being married to Victor had mellowed her out. She could still bring out her fireworks if she needed to, but she just felt so happy and calm most of the time that she just didn't feel the need. Teresa smiled to herself, thinking how Victor's calming influence seemed to have made the world a better place for her or for other people to whom she was the closest. Now, they didn't have to be afraid of what they called the wrath of Teresa when they crossed her. She may sometimes still be a loudmouth, opinionated, and independent woman. However, now she felt as if she didn't constantly have to be at war with the world just to prove herself. Finally, she had everything she ever wanted. She was living the life she always hoped and would get to live. However, Teresa never dared to imagine that it would manifest into reality. She thought about everything Judy and she had to go through the previous years, all the hoops they had to jump through just to be able to get married. They'd both ended up having 2 weddings. Teresa's first attempt getting married had been decimated by nature. Not bothering to check the weather forecast and determined to make everything go her way, Teresa had stressed herself out planning the perfect wedding, only to have it all get washed away with the torrential rain. Teresa didn't have any regrets though. She pulled out her phone and started scrolling through the video clips her friends had uploaded from the latest season of The Wedding Challenge. The Wedding Challenge was a reality show in which they were contestants. They hoped to win big money to show the world they could have unique weddings that suit their respective personal styles and keep it classy. Judy's first attempt at getting married had been a wreck too. So the sisters had decided to get married in a joint ceremony. What a beautiful ceremony it was, Teresa thought, as she scrolled through the video clips. She stopped on the clip of herself walking down the aisle, a vision in gold. She remembered how excited she was when she had found the glimmering gold wedding dress that looked like she had poured molten gold all over her body. She moved gracefully, walking down the aisle with her stepfather Robin, who was beaming proudly at her wedding guest. Teresa didn't know whether it was the editing or just the magic of the day. However, she genuinely thought she had never looked more beautiful in her life. Her dark hair and glam makeup, complete with a bold, deep red lipstick, made her complexion look dewy and sun-kissed. The floral gold comb that held her hair in place really tied the whole ensemble together. This was the first time Teresa had seen the official video. She nervously opened the comments section, and she was floored when she saw that the video had gotten almost 100,000 likes. People from all over the world were gushing over her. She looks like a Greek goddess, commented Puppy Pie Girl 15 Eva. OMG, if I looked like that, I'd die of happiness, commented Cute Cupcake Amy 124. Move over, Jay-Z and Beyonce. Teresa and Victor are here to steal your crown. Teresa couldn't help but feel overwhelmed with love and gratitude. Life had blessed her in so many ways. She couldn't believe this was her reality. A flight attendant interrupted her thoughts as she brought over a glass of John II Marcy sparkling wine with a strawberry floating inside it. This was luxury.
Hi, miss. Would you care to try our passion fruit macaroons? The chef has selected them personally for the honeymoon couple.
She beamed cheerfully.
Hell yes, I'll try that fancy pasta,
Teresa said. The flight attendant was taken aback at the ghetto voice that came out of the elegantly put-together woman's mouth.
Yes, I'm sorry, miss. I must have not spoken clearly,
she said professionally, disguising her surprise.
I asked if you would like to try our macaroons, not the macaroni. Our chef made these delicious French cookies with passion fruit,
the flight attendant explained tactfully. Teresa caught herself. She realized she needed to be more composed because she was now Mrs. Teresa Boyd as well.
I'm sorry,
Teresa smiled demurely.
The engines are so loud. I must have misheard you. I would love to try the macaroons,
she said politely.
Oh, I must apologize if you were bothered by the sounds of the engine. Please accept these complimentary headphones from the airline. I hope they make the rest of your journey more comfortable. Also, if you want to rest properly, I can shut your cabin door and you'll be able to convert your seat into a bed and turn off the lights.
Teresa was awestruck. She had never really experienced the old money, filthy rich lifestyle before. Even though she made good money at her nursing job, Victor and his family had generational wealth. In other words, they were stinking rich. Victor took these luxuries in his stride because he was so accustomed to them. He had grown up with them. However, for Teresa, every experience was anew. Teresa had never been the kind of girl that enjoyed pretentious, fancy smancy stuff, but she couldn't deny. It sure beat the hell out of flying in economy, struggling to find leg room, then to deal with other people's sounds and smells, screaming babies, and perpetually wrestling over the puny armrest. Teresa sips her sparkling wine. It is airy, cold, and delicious. She sets her glass aside into the champagne flute holder. She didn't even know it was a thing. As the flight attendant brings her macaroons, the small, round, purple cookies were heavenly.
These are delicious,
Teresa declared.
They're right up there with Popeye's chicken in my book.
Teresa laughed. The flight attendant looked baffled again, and then she also started grinning.
Hey, I can set up your bed if you want,
she offered.
Well, thanks, girl. I wasn't going to ask, but personally, I am bamboozled by all these buttons,
Teresa confided, giggling. The flight attendant converted both Teresa and Victor's seats into beds, turned down the lights, and put on soothing sleep sounds on speakers that Teresa couldn't see. Victor woke up slightly and asked,
"What's going on?"
when his seat started to shift.
Nothing, baby. Just turning our cabin into a bedroom,
Teresa half whispered delightedly.
"Oh, cool,"
Victor said sleepily.
"Thank you,"
he told the flight attendant as he pulled up the blanket and lay back down. The flight attendant shut the cabin door as Victor reached out and grabbed Teresa by the waist.
"Come here, you."
He nuzzled her ear as he held her tightly and gave her a passionate kiss on the lips.
"I cannot wait to be alone with you in Jamaica,"
he tells her. Teresa kisses him back and buries her face in his neck. They lay like that for a while, listening to the calm sleeping sounds in the dim cabin light. Soon, Victor drifted back into a peaceful sleep, and this time Teresa felt inclined to join him. She could feel her eyelids drooping as the soft blanket the flight attendant had draped over her and the weight of Victor's arm around her made her feel safe, warm, and comfortable. She fell asleep with a smile on her face, excited to experience the wonders of Jamaica with her new husband. Meanwhile, Judy Davis was in hell. She was stuck on a 10-hour flight with terrible seats in the rear economy class with her husband Lucas. Lucas had not even bothered to reserve their seats before the flight. So they got stuck with the dreaded middle of the aisle seats, sandwiched between two random strangers. One of them was an extremely obese woman who had not bothered to purchase 2 seats for herself. She stuffed herself in her seat. The worst part was that her skin was slick with sweat, and because she was stuck next to Judy and their arms were touching, the left side of Judy's body was drenched with the stranger's sweat. Judy wanted to cry. She couldn't believe Lucas could be so cheap. He hadn't even paid the extra fee for check-in baggage, so Judy had to keep her carry-on bag under her seat, taking away whatever legroom she had in the first place. To make matters worse, the seats were right next to the tail wing of the plane, so her ears kept popping and the sound was unbearable. Lucas wasn't having the best time either, Judy observed. He was trying his best to put on a good front to save face for cheapening out on the seats. But he was sat next to a woman with a baby in her lap. The baby couldn't be more than 3 months old, and he had started shrieking like a banshee, crying and wailing like the broken fire alarm ever since the plane had taken off. That was 3 hours ago, and he was showing no signs of stopping. To top that off, there was now a strong stench of poop that was wafting towards them from the baby's direction. Judy almost gagged from the smell. She was already disgusted she was covered in a stranger's sweat. Lucas had initially tried to start a conversation with her to keep things romantic, but Judy was seething. He gave up because he realized having a conversation amidst the cacophony of horrible sights, sounds, and smell that they were surrounded by was impossible anyway. Thus, he had pulled out his Nintendo Switch, plugged in his AirPods, and now was resolutely ignoring everyone around him while he was engrossed in his game. It's not as if they couldn't afford it, Judy thought again bitterly. They had won a considerable sum of money from the wedding challenge. Judy had suggested they use that money to get better seats, especially because you only get to go on your honeymoon once. Judy loved luxurious things and never in her life imagined that she would be going for her honeymoon like this. Adding fuel to the fire was the fact that she knew Teresa was living her best life in first class while she was out here, slumming it like a peasant. It wasn't fair. Teresa's ghetto ass would foot right in here, the pits of economy. For some reason, Judy had always assumed she would be the one that would marry into money, while her sister would be content with marrying any guy who loved her, despite the size of his wallet. Somehow, things went completely in the opposite direction. She looked at Lucas, who was playing some dumb car chase game on the Switch. The baby had mercifully fallen asleep, so at least the wailing had stopped. However, the woman next to her had unearthed a bag of chips from somewhere and was now munching away in Judy's ear. Judy knew she would have to throw away her top the moment they landed. She was not going to wear something that was marinating in a stranger's sweat for 10 hours straight. Sighing, she pulls out her headphones and puts on some music, trying to get comfortable. Judy felt like she always got stuck with the short straw, and if she ever caught a lucky break, it was because of someone else's intervention. She wanted to make money and be somebody. Just being Mrs. Lucas Woods wasn't enough. Judy sighed. 3 hours left until they landed. This felt like the longest plane ride of her life. Chapter 1. Honeymooning in Paradise.
Oh my God, I can't believe we're finally here, baby.
Teresa cries excitedly. They had just arrived at that luxurious family suite at the all-inclusive resort they had booked in Jamaica. The air felt cool with a hint of salt in the air, misted with light spray of the ocean as Teresa threw open the doors of the veranda attached to their suite.
Just look at this place,
Teresa gushes, taking in her surroundings. Their suite was built like a mini cabana which opened to a patio overlooking the sea. There was a beautiful infinity pool at the edge of the patio, which overlooked the sea. The entire area was enclosed by a small grove of coconut trees on both sides, so it felt like they had a part of the beach all to themselves. The suite itself was gorgeous. It was so sophisticated yet lively at the same time. Bright green accents against the pure white walls added splashes of color to the room. They had a huge circular bed piled high with pillows and the softest blankets imaginable. The bathroom had a rainfall shower and a jacuzzi, with a large glass window that showed the lush green gardens outside. They had a seating area which was air-conditioned. Outside on the patio by the pool, complete with recliners so the couple could just lie out in the sun and Teresa could work on her tan. She had always dreamed of coming to Jamaica for her honeymoon, and she couldn't believe she was finally there.
I think we got the best room in the resort,
Victor said, paying off the bellhop who was kind enough to put away their suitcase in the closets.
Damn right, baby,
Teresa replied.
I love this room. We have all the space we need to make all the bad decisions we want.
She grinned, planting a kiss on Victor's cheek.
Wait till you see the outfit I have planned for tonight. You're going to love it,
Teresa said mischievously.
Hell no,
Victor said.
Fuck waiting for tonight.
He grabbed Teresa by the waist and pulled her in close.
Let me see what you're wearing under that sundress right now, baby. I really can't see what you're working with you all covered up like that.
He pinned her against the wall.
There is one rule we must follow in this suite. If we are staying in, nobody is allowed to wear anything more than a bathing suit.
Teresa playfully slips her arms out of the sleeves of her sundress.
Well, I see someone has trouble waiting until tonight.
She leans into Victor, letting him kiss her neck.
Lucky for you, our suite is enclosed by these beautiful swaying coconut trees, and nobody can see us making love,
she said flirtatiously.
Uh-huh. Lucky.
Victor murmured, distracting as he keeps kissing Teresa.
Fuck it.
Teresa laughs.
Let's do this, my new husband.
She drags him to the bed, pushing him down on it, and climbs up on him.
Well, I know somebody who will leave this honeymoon pregnant,
Victor exclaims, and Teresa swats at him.
Challenge accepted.
She grins. Then Victor grabs her, and they lose themselves in each other, kissing and loving passionately against the beautiful backdrop of the beach. Teresa was in heaven. She hoped that Judy had arrived safely as well and was having just as great a time as she was. Simultaneously, Judy and Lucas Woods had pulled up to the resort. Judy's bad temper had subsided over the ride to the resort, and she was now excitedly looking at her beautiful surroundings. The concierge greeted them with a complimentary mimosa at the gates, and Judy was finally happy that she was getting some VIP treatment that she felt like she deserved.
Oh my God, baby, isn't this place amazing?
She asked Lucas, holding on to his arm.
It sure is, love.
Lucas replied affectionately. They reached their room on the 4th floor of the hotel building within the resort. Their room was a whole lot smaller than Teresa and Victor's suite, but it had a nice ocean view. It was in the Zen building, next to the outdoor pool. There was a pool on every other floor of the resort, so it didn't get too crowded with strangers. Only the residents of the 2 floors would use the pools close to their floors. Judy wasted no time. She started exploring the room. It was nice, done up with white, yellow, and blue colors, with a king-size bed and minibar. She threw open the bathroom door and she saw the room came with a large bathtub, and she was ecstatic. She couldn't wait to get cleaned up and to scrub the plane ride off her mind and body. She grabbed the complimentary bathrobe and slippers and told Lucas she was going to get cleaned up. Judy filled the bathtub up with some complimentary bubble baths laid out on the small tubes next to the tub, peeling off her disgusting clothes and tosses them into the bin. Then she hops into the tub and languishes in the water as she allows the warmth of the water to soothe her frazzled nerves.
Lucas, baby, you want to join me? This tub is big enough for the both of us,
she yells out from the bathroom. Lucas, on the other hand, is looking for the bottle of John 2 Marcy sparkling wine that he pre-ordered before arriving at the resort.
Just a minute, baby. Let me see where they've kept their sparkling wine.
He replies. He looks inside the minibar. at the service table, but to his disappointment, there was no bottle of sparkling wine to be found.
Judy, I'm so sorry, baby.
He said, walking into the bathroom.
I specifically requested a bottle of John 2 Marcy's sparkling wine to open on our first day of our honeymoon. However, the concierge had forgotten to bring it to our suite. Do not worry, baby. I'll call the front desk and get us a bottle ASAP.
He assured her. Judy smiled, leaning her head back against the tub.
Oh, you ordered John 2 Marcy? Okay, that's the good stuff. I see you know your sparkling wines.
She smiled at Lucas.
You know what your new wife likes,
she said, giving him a kiss.
However, you do not have to call the front desk, baby. Check in my suitcase.
She grinned. Lucas rummages inside Judy's suitcase only to find not one but 3 bottles of John 2 Marcy sparkling wines. He felt a sudden rush of affection for Judy, the budget queen with a taste for luxury, who always knew how to get her hands on the finer things in life within reason. He always appreciated her, but it suddenly hit him how much the two of them had in common. It amazed him. Lucas grabbed the wine out of the bag and put one of the bottles inside a bucket of ice he found next to the minibar. Putting 2 glasses on a tray, he slipped out of his dirty airplane clothes and headed into the bathroom to join Judy.
Baby, you are simply amazing.
Lucas gushed.
Not only did you know what sparkling wine to buy for our honeymoon, you even got all 3 editions of the John 2 Marcy sparkling wine collection.
He got into the bathtub and sat behind Judy. Judy carefully reached for the wine glasses, then clinked their glasses together before taking a delicious sip.
Cheers to us.
Judy grinned.
Damn straight, I got us Curve Brut, sparkling rose, and the Moscato.
Judy informed him about the sparkling wine.
I'm going to share the bottle of Moscato with my sister Teresa. You know that's her favorite. My sister and I love all the sparkling wine this company offers. Plus, we look so sophisticated drinking it too.
Judy struck a comically sophisticated pose, sticking her pinky out as she took a sip of her wine. Lucas laughed.
You know what they say in the John 2 Marcy commercials at the end, right?
Judy and Lucas both struck the same comically sophisticated pose and said simultaneously,
John 2 Marcy, it proves you're in Miami.
In the same pretentious voice that the people in the commercials use. Judy snuggled in close to Lucas. Covered in sudsy water, Lucas held her close.
I always picture myself on a beautiful beach like this and drinking wine. I feel like the woman in the commercial. She was both beautiful and accomplished at her career.
Judy said wistfully.
She did it all while drinking this wine. This is going to be a great honeymoon. And if I'm lucky, I might just leave her with something extra too.
She leaned her head against Lucas's shoulder. Lucas kissed Judy deeply and whispered,
I don't know if you'll leave this honeymoon with our first child, seedling.
Judy looked at him with big, adoring eyes.
However, we're going to try hard at making one throughout this honeymoon.
Lucas said naughtily.
I accept the challenge, babe.
Judy laughed. Judy was relieved they had moved past the tension of the flight. As they enjoyed their time together in the tub, she realized that she really did love Lucas a lot. Couples have disagreements, but moments like this made it all worthwhile. An hour or so later, when all the bubbles had subsided, Lucas and Judy got out of the bathtub. Lucas said he was going to take a walk around while Judy dried her hair and got dressed. She decided she could call Teresa in the meantime, as she waited for Lucas to come back. Judy dialed her sister's number, but Teresa wasn't picking up. Undeterred, Judy kept calling her. She must have called her at least 6 times before her sister finally picked up her call.
Hey, girl.
Teresa answered while she was getting ready for the evening in the bathroom.
Don't you just love this resort?
She said happily.
What the fuck, Teresa? I've been calling you for ages, girl.
Judy said, putting on an indignant tone of voice.
Come on. I know you are not really mad.
Teresa teases.
Okay, I'm not.
Judy laughs.
And hell yes, I love this resort. It has everything. I even brought our favorite sparkling wine. I'll bring it over at lunch.
Judy said excitedly.
Yes, thank you.
Teresa cheered.
Did you get the Moscato? That's my favorite.
Judy laughed.
Does an elephant shit in the forest? Yes, I got the Moscato, along with the 2 other additions. This resort is freaking amazing.
She sang out.
Fuck Miami. It proves you were in Montego Bay, bitch.
Teresa laughed. Spotting Victor, Teresa yells out,
Victor, baby, hurry up and wash up. We're going to meet my sister and Lucas for lunch. Judy brought some John 2 Marcy sparkling wine for the trip. Let's party.
Hey, Victor.
Judy calls out from the phone. Victor peeks into the bathroom.
Let's do this, girl.
He says happily.
I see Judy got the good stuff. Just give me 30 minutes to clean myself up. Can you grab my suitcase for me?
Teresa grabs his bag and wheels it outside the bathroom for him.
Judy, can you give us 35 minutes to get ready? We will meet you in the Orchard Garden for lunch. The restaurant there got great reviews online.
Judy laughs.
Typical Teresa, doing homework on a restaurant before we even get there?
She laughs affectionately.
Sounds great, though.
Judy added.
We can pop the bottle there and bless our marriages together. I love you, sis.
Judy said, making kissing noises into the phone.
I love you more. And remember, we are married women now. I cannot wait until some random man tries to talk to me out in public. I'm going to raise my ring finger and say, I am taken. Move on, sir.
Teresa replies. Judy smiles, happy that her sister is so happy.
Oh, I know you've been rehearsing that one. Bye, girl. I'll see you in 35 minutes.
Judy decides to take advantage of the time she has by herself. She steps outside with a glass of wine and takes in the beautiful scenery around her. She looked amazing in her deep coral printed sundress. It was short but flowing, and she had curled her hair and added a small flower barrette in it to fit the vibe. She felt like she had already caught a little bit of a tan, and her blonde hair looked healthy and golden under the Jamaican sunshine. Lucas arrived shortly after that, and after sharing some moments alone together on the balcony, they headed down for lunch, excited to meet the Boyds and have some fun.
If you had fun or picked up anything from this episode, please assist by hitting the like, subscribe, and notification buttons. You can also comment and share our content. These small things really help our channel and means a lot to us. Also, special thanks to our Patreon supporters. You guys are the heartbeat of this channel, and we can't thank you enough for being so generous. If you'd like to join our Patreon community, please click on the link below. You can contribute as little as $5 per month. You can get all kinds of perks. You can even buy merchandise of your favorite characters at our shop store. Click on the link provided below. That's going to do it for now. Until next time, remember, you are cherished by us, so be kind and know that we consider you as family.